So chapter 32 starts out with Moses' very long song. It was a very long song, and the song basically was to teach the Israelites, like I said, not with spoken words, but with melody. You know how you remember, how many people were like me, who I studied chemistry. I took chemistry in secondary school, and I know that during the exams we had to remember all the laws. So sometimes we turned the laws into songs so that we could remember. So sometimes in the exam hall you hear someone saying, so once you hear the melody, it reminds you of what the law is, and you can quote the law. So that's what aptly I associated with this. These are laws too. So with the song, you're easily able to remember them. So that's probably the case with the Israelites. So the song contained details of what they had done, abandon God and worship idols. I don't know why they heard this and they knew that the song was saying that this was what they would do and they didn't fix up. I don't know. His final blessing on Israel showed him, and this is Moses, to be the father of the nation. Just like the patriarchs Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob blessed their sons before their death. We see here that Moses did the same for all these tribes. He blessed each and every one of them. And his blessings were specific to their positioning and their calling, right? So for example, Judah, that was the largest, he blessed them according and spoke over them, concerning military success. For Levi, strength and protection to perform their priestly duties. Benjamin, he prayed for protection and preservation. For Joseph, fruitfulness and abundance and influence by extension, which is basically that's for Ephraim, by extension for Ephraim and Manasseh, because obviously those were the tribes of Joseph, those two tribes. Zebulon and Issachar, he blessed them and prayed for prosperity from fishing and commerce. From Gad had the best land, by the way. He blessed them with territorial protection and leadership. Dan, again, I'm perplexed by Dan's blessings. All he said was, Dan is a lion's cub leaping from Bashan. This was the shortest blessing. I'm doing some research and I'm finding out some things about the tribe of Dan, but I will not jump ahead of myself. Hopefully, God being willing, we'll be able to see this, but this all comes to a head in Revelation. So hopefully we get some clarity by then. Moving on. Naphtali, favor and blessing and expansion. Asher, blessings and recognition and security. Did you notice that the tribe of Simeon wasn't mentioned? I did. But this was actually in line with Jacob's prophecy on the tribe of Simeon from Genesis 49:7. Now, see, something about the Bible that I'm finding out is that most times you have to go back to go forward, because the things that God has spoken or the prophecies that he has given, he never forgets them and he never changes his mind. Now, let's go back to Genesis 49:7. It says, Jacob's last words to his sons, for Simeon and Levi, who were redeemed, he cursed their anger and said, I will scatter them among the descendants of Jacob. I will disperse them through Israel. And from what I understand, the Simeonites were later absorbed into the tribe of Judah. So, and then the Levites, obviously because they were redeemed of God to serve him. But also we know that the Levites don't have any land. They are scattered. They are given towns within other people's towns. So listen, when God speaks a word, it's not a joke. It always happens. So before Moses died, God showed him all the lands. I believe he did so spiritually, or supernaturally, not just from one spot. Because remember I told you that I've been to Mount Nebo. Now it's an amazing view and all, but like the things that he said, the places you see and the things I showed them, I couldn't see it from where I was. So except Moses had binoculars. Obviously binoculars weren't invented at the time, but I believe that God gave him like a supernatural sneak peek of the land, which was really good. He reminded him of his promise to the patriarchs as well. Moses was the greatest of all the prophets of God, and he did some unparalleled signs and wonders through him. No one knows where he's buried or where his body is. There are a few theories. One is that God himself buried him, like took him away and buried him because they were friends. And then also because we see how these Israelites always like to just worship anything. So obviously maybe they hid their body so that they won't like worship Moses because, feeling that he was the greatest. But whatever happens, no one knows where Moses' body is. Also, I have another theory that I've read from a Bible study about something that I'll probably share when we get to Revelation as well. Psalm 91, remember we read that, and it was taken from Moses' song. Now, this was news to me because I didn't know this initially. And it was written by a psalmist as a reminder of who God is and what he has done. So even though I remember that psalm growing up for being the psalms that my mom gave me to read every time I was scared or had nightmares, now I'm seeing it from a different light. Now, here's my hashtag getting to know God lesson. God is intimately acquainted with us. He's teaching us his name. Knowing God intimately is the source of true deliverance and protection. The more we study the word and spend time in prayer, we'll see our lives transformed. I know this is true for me, and I hope that by these recapping sessions is helping you too, and that is encouraging you to read your Bible and get to know God. The more we know him, the more we want to know him, creating longing and even a deeper desire and intimacy for him. And I pray this for you and for me, and that God will give us the grace to continue like this until we get to the end of the book, and then we'll start again, because I don't believe that we ever have the journey of knowing God ever ends until we die. Thank you for joining me. See you tomorrow.